Okay, I think the stream is now started. So, while nobody's watching, I'm gonna briefly tell about what's going to happen for those who are going to replay those streams uh later on. So what happened to the project is that my drive just died like not so long ago, probably just like 5 months ago. My drive with all of my Unreal Engine projects just died, and I could not recover it by any cost. I use a special service for fixing and repairing broken drives and something like that. They told me that it could work, but also it could not. So there was a chance to like fix it or just leave it broken. So I tried plugging this in. When I got it back, I tried plugging it in and it just didn't work. So I've lost all my Unreal Engine projects forever. And so from now on, I have a GitHub repository ready. I have source control ready for Unreal Engine, and I'm sure that I will never lose my project again like that. But using those methods of backupping, I think I can now actually make it work. And since I know more about Unreal Engine and optimizing, I hope I can make this even better than my previous project. Let me check the audio like that. So using those methods of backupping, I think I can. Yeah, I guess that's good. So what we're gonna start with is I'm gonna continue working on the very first steps of this project. I've prepared not so much of the things to work on, but I have, what do I have? Rotate power function. Oh, yep. This is gonna be choosing the axis, or rotating the character whenever he is walking right or left. So if the statement is true. Wait, what? Oh, yep. If the statement is true, then we have to check, we have to make a new rotator. Make rotator. Okay, and true. So wait, it's gonna check if so it's still gonna be, nope, that's not the right way to use it. So I have okay, let me try to do this. Instead, we're gonna use a branch which is gonna check if this value does not equal to 0, and then that will make it so it only rotates while we're moving. And from here, we have to get last update vector, last movement input vector, then make rotator from XZ. The Z's gonna be world up, so it's basically 1, and then we multiply this rotator by the axis value of our movement. So that'll hope will make it work. Okay, for some reason it does a weird thing for a split second. Something weird is happening to it. First of all, for some reason, it's still negative, even though that I rotated the character in the right direction, so it's forward, it's facing forward. Maybe we have to multiply this value by -1, which is not a way of using maths, but still gonna try it. Okay, that works, but for some reason, for a split second, it does something very weird. Might be wrong, but I can see that for a split of a second. Let me try to go back into the event graph and set time dilation to Let's say 0.1. Let's try checking that. That's weird. Now that's really weird. What if we only make rotation from X? Will that fix it? Nope. Still does a weird thing. Okay. So using the axis value for choosing the direction is not a good thing, right? So what if we... Oh, I have an idea. Plus, oh, you can't add, okay, what about this? Plus 90 multiplied, wait, plus 90 what am I doing? Multiply 90 multiplied by the axis value. So now we multiply the axis value by 90, which is gonna be, if it's like 90, right? I mean, if the axis value is like 1, the character is moving right, then it's gonna add 90 to the rotation. Wait. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let's try. Alright, maybe 180 is the solution. Nope, it's not. Okay, actually, what's going on that it's choosing either negative 180 or positive 180, which is basically the same value. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna damn, this is tough. Why is it so hard all of a sudden? Okay, wait, I gotta check my previous project, how it was made, because this is weird. It's weird how I can't actually make it work. That's the simplest thing you can actually do. And I can't. Let me try that. Yep. Right. Oh, forget about the music. Yep. It's so boring. Let's try doing this. Gonna play my playlist. Yep, you can see the song title right here. Alright, so how did I do this here? Oh, I can't see that because the file is broken, right? Yep. The file is broken. Yeah. Not even in recovered. Oh, wait. Can't I just, like... This one is broken too? What? Wait, can't I make a new, like a template, 3D side scroll character? Right? What's that? I can't open it. I can't. Whoa, 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 whoa! How are you doing? Wait, what if I just Google that? 2D side scroller character blueprint. Images. I need the function for rotating it. Let me ask ChatGPT real quick. How do I rotate 2D side scroller character dependent on movement vector in 2D space? Yay! Gotta rephrase that again. Using blueprints. Get the movement vector. Just did that. Let's get back to my project. This one. Yep. Alright. We multiply the axis value. Oh, right. How did I not think of that? Get forward vector. Get actor forward. Forward vector multiplied by get right value, and then make rotator make rock from X. It's not gonna work though, because why did not the map save? Why did the map just not save? Oh, I think, yep, there we go. Never mind, it actually works, but now what I have to do is to just multiply it by -1. That'll work. That'll work! Let's go! And now also have to do the same thing, but here I'm gonna add a new boolean, which is add. Have to drag this down a little bit. I'm gonna add a new rewrote. Rewrote. Boom. Doesn't really look good, but anyway. Okay. Movement vector. And not just falling. So we can't rotate the POW, which is the character, while we're falling. So that means when we're jumping, like in the original game, we will not be able to rotate. Sick. That works just fine. So I think what it lacks for now to at least look like the exit path, we have to make the paper character sprite switching. So basically when we're running, it's gonna switch the sprite to the running sprite, right? I'm gonna make another graph here for that. Actually, no. I'm gonna make a function for that. So the function is gonna be Wait, I think I could use this as a function, right? I could drop all of that into a function. I'm gonna call it rotate how. What's wrong? Right? Open it up. Okay. We're gonna go back here with that and then rotate out. Yeah, now I can delete that. That's the function. Now that should also work. Perfect. Now let's add a new function for sprite switch. So right here, we're gonna wait. Actually, I think I'm gonna make a few different functions for that because we're gonna use different functions for different sprites. So switch. Actually, no. Run sprite. Idle sprite. Jump sprite. And what else? Duck sprite. That's a CSGO music kit, isn't it? I'm gonna skip that. Alright, so now that we have all of those functions, we can just start doing this. So run sprite should be, first of all, we're gonna bring in sprite, then set sprite, set flipbook, and the flipbook is gonna be run flipbook. After that, set looping be true. So now we just do the same process for the others, but in the idle sprite, the looping is going to be false, and the idle flip is going to use the idle flip book, of course. Jump sprite, same logic here. Jump flip loop, flip book, no loop, and duck sprite also no looping. Great. Now that we have that, we're gonna go back to the controls and we're gonna call a new modifiers. Okay, we're gonna remove that and make a new custom event. Sprite switcher. Now we're gonna use a lot of branches here. Branch 1 is gonna be if the character is moving right. If he's moving right, then run sprite. Okay. If he is not moving, but instead is what? Oh, wait, another branch here. I'm gonna override if we're falling. So it's falling, then jump sprite. Okay, so if we're not moving, we have to check if we're what? Okay, so the moving doesn't really matter here. We don't have to check if we're moving. Instead, here we have to check if we're moving. So if we're moving, wait, first of all, we're gonna check if we're ducking. So Have to check here. Can crouch. Is it? There's the movement compatibilities. Struggling to find the movement compatibilities. There we go. Can't crouch, and then it's crouching. If the player is crouching, then duck, right? If he's not crouching, then we check if he's moving, and that's gotta be it. If he's moving, then the run sprite. If not, idle sprite. I think that's all the logic. Now we just have to plug this function into an actual graph. It's gonna be on the event tick, switch sprite. And we also have to go to the controls and add a new, which is gonna be duck. Oh, my bad, duck. Crouch. And uncrouch. Right. That's funny. Doesn't work. Nothing's working. Okay, why doesn't it? Let's go back to the modifiers, and we're falling, then we're not falling. We check if we're crouching, we're not crouching, then we check if we're moving. If we're not moving, then we're not fine. We're moving. The run sprite. So what's the matter? What's the matter? I think the problem is that I actually use a lot of functions here. I don't think it's supposed to use functions like that. I think it's wrong to use functions here. But anyway, it's just weird it doesn't work. What is the current sprite? Idle. Okay. Maybe the problem is in the sprites. I haven't checked those. No. Oh, forgot to play them. Right. Yep. Play. Play from start. Play from start. How could I forgot about that? Okay, play. But you have to play them in order to actually trigger them again if you just turn off the looping. That's why it's doing that. Close. Now it's gonna work. I was joking. Why is it not working? First of all, it doesn't even switch to the jumping sprite. Because the function is always running. It doesn't do it once. Right. We don't have to play from the start, but instead, just play it. Play. Boom, play. Not from the start. Just play it. Right? Yep. That's working now. Great. So, boom, boom. Okay, and that's gonna make it work, finally. Never going to make another 2D Unreal Engine game. There we go. It's playing. Nice. Kind of resembles an Exit Path game now. Good. Now I gotta check the size of the collision for the capsule component. It's not accurate, so I gotta make it. Where's the there? Capsule house size crouched. Where is it? Here. What's the capsule radius? 34. Okay, that's gonna be the radius for the crouch how high. So if we possess it again, there you go. That's a perfect circle. Nice. I think I'm gonna make a switch for so you can't crouch where you're jumping. So then leave it like that. Alright, that works just fine. Great work. And we have that. Make sure that 34 is set here. Okay. Now... now what? I think I gotta make it a little more speedy. Not walking fast enough. Maybe that's a little too much. Gotta check it in the in a slow motion. Yep, it's moving too fast. I'm not actually trying to sync it with the actual walk speed of the animation, just trying to have fun. 750. Is that gonna be good? That seems about right. I think that's good. Actually, it's still a little bit too fast. $6.50. I think that's the original speed. Now it's syncing a little too good. Now it's way more better. What am I doing? Yep, that's working. So now we should set the friction. So I remember there was a mechanic where you could slide under the blocks with enough speed. First of all, I think it's gotta be something to do with the friction. we're gonna make a new function here. I'm gonna call it slide friction. Sliding. That's good. It's just gonna be sliding. Okay. So now we have to set friction. Get character movement. Set friction. Ground friction, right? We're gonna make it so it's dependent on the velocity of the character. So if the character's velocity, like let's say 650, which is the maximum, go, then we can slide further, which basically relies on the movement. So now we have to think of a way to transfer the speed into the friction. But that's gonna be like if we have very small amount of speed, have more friction.